I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm a real cheap boy. Okay.
Finally.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to read through the minutes from December 5th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
A second? Discussion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Highway Department. Highway. Report.
So we survived all the storms so far. Very minor repairs needed, so that's a good thing. The windshield wiper clean, and yeah, it's very minor. Going back, I should have started this with old business. The last bill paid, there was a discussion about the BJ's receipt. So, I called up this lovely gentleman by the name of Robert. I really don't think his name was Robert, for BJ's. And he, after about 20 minutes of explaining what was going on, told me that he could not help me and that I needed to go to the store in which the items were purchased and take care of it there, in person. So I did. And when I went to the first gentleman, he put me to the next lady, and this lady, in a matter of maybe 2 minutes, typing on the computer, straightened the whole thing out. When Matt Seitz went down there with our tax exempt form, she put the date in, whoever it was, put the date in incorrectly.
Maybe it was
in the
Robert.
computer.
Bob, yeah.
So, what I did find out, and I think it was every 3 years, the computer, not that our tax exempt form is outdated or out of date or whatever, they make companies come back in and prove they're still a tax exempt. So it automatically kicks it out. Well, what happened was, the lady put in the date instead of the year or something, and it kicked it out immediately, saying, no, it's not.
Good for you for the diligence.
So we got big money back on the credit card, and it'll be in our next statement, a credit from that $18 or whatever it was.
Did she tell you you could have done that on the phone?
She did inquire why I didn't just call. And I said, well, there, just like I said here, there was a gentleman by the name of Robert, that really don't think his name is Robert, has told me I had to come here in person. And she didn't even, I handed her a copy of the receipt, and she took the numbers off of it. She didn't ask for a card, she didn't ask for identification, she didn't ask for anything.
She had everything else
Boom,
needed.
done. It's no problem with taking care of it. So, it seemed like Mr. Robert should have been able to do this over the phone.
Was it a corporate number that you originally called, not the store number?
Yeah, so,
That would do it.
So helpful.
that was
Oh, yeah,
an
BJ's.
interesting part of my day that day, and it's a little frustrating. Next frustration is the loggers are still in across the street from the Pig Rock. So that trail has got closed signs on it, even though we have all this lovely snow. They're not, I just went up and talked to them last Thursday, they're not going to be out until probably New Year's, if, you know, everything goes right. And then they are just moving down the road a little ways, and we're going to have to share the road for the log trucks, but it's supposedly only one log truck a day. And they don't work on weekends. So, that's a plus, that part of it.
Is that the only one? Yeah, that is the only way from Speculator up to Perkins Clearing.
No, we have the bypass trail at the beginning of Perkins.
But Speculator to Perkins, you can't go on the lakes now.
No.
From Speculator to Perkins, you go
Just on
up
a dry run.
the back trail up to the power line around Oak Mountain, up over the hill.
The old Melody Trail.
Okay,
Perkins.
yeah,
Or
it's been a while.
you go up that way and take a right, go over to, what I call Wolf, well, I guess it's Wolf Hill Road,
Phil.
where Karen and
Yeah.
Dave have their camp up there, go up there and take the left over, page 54, but now that comes to a screeching halt because they're logging in there, and when I say they're logging, it's flat.
So there is
You can
a,
see, you can almost see the logging header that's half mile down in the woods. I mean,
That's
they
another clear cut.
got it, yeah. They,
so there
They
is a
love
way
those
up.
now.
I think they left all the yellow birch and that was it. So,
They really love the clear cuts these days.
Yeah, no
Um,
mother trees, no nothing.
well, I have two things left, both very good news. We put the groomer up on Auctions International. I was not asking, but I was hoping for 15,000, but we paid for it. And the sale ended last night at 17,400. So I am
So-
at, well, yeah, that's exactly the deal. I'm asking for a resolution to approve of that.
I shall make that.
Second. To consummate such sale.
Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? I didn't think we'd need any discussion on that.
I say we used it for 3 years and got our, more than our money out of it, so.
More than
we're
was
good.
put into it, so
Good
that's
deal.
good.
That's a
Yep.
good deal for everybody. TV ad. I have it as a note here. If anybody's seen the I Love New York TV ad, they have a bunch of attractions in New York State for the winter time, tubing hills and so on and so forth, and skiing and everything else, and they have a little 20-second skit of snowmobiling, and in the bottom of it, it is not Old Forge, it is Speculator, New York.
Right.
Wow.
Nice.
I've only heard of it, 2 different mentions on Facebook this week. Young Don Purdy out in Buffalo, he gave Ricky Swift full kudos for having it. I don't think we had anything to do with it, but he thinks he did. But they either identified it as Speculator or Don recognized it, because he said.
No,
that's-
they have it written right on the back, bottom, Speculator, New York, and
Well,
near as I can say, the lake that they're on is, I believe is Indian Lake, but I'm not 100%.
But they played this over the weekend
Oh.
during football games, and guys in the western part of the state saw it, so.
I would assume the footage was probably provided by Roost, that the county contracts with.
Okay.
They're like stock film that
They come up here and do photo shoots all the
Sure,
time.
yeah.
We did a whole shoot on the lake out here with Christy. We've done a couple up in Indian Lake and up north, so.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I was very impressed that it was not
For-
Old Ford.
for
which
change.
Used to be the capital of snowmobiling in New York State, and maybe we can continue our good grasp of this. You know, New York State recognized it, I'm happy.
Good.
And one other thing, we have a employee that has a new baby as of 2:30 this morning,
Oh, 2:30 this morning.
all went well and
Katie?
Eddie's
Eddie,
wife.
Oh,
What's her name?
don't know that.
Oh,
don't
I
know the
do.
weight. I
What
don't
is
know the
it?
weight either, so.
So
I
I
know
wanna
it's
say
an LC and it
Lila.
was 2:30 this morning.
Did you have to plow tonight, last night? or-
No, he called in, so,
girl?
Lila.
Lila is her name.
Ah,
there you go.
Michelle was paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Good
That's
news.
it?
Good news. Upping the population.
Okay.
Possibly.
So we'll move on to old business, the museum fundraiser. We're now up to $31,766. And we are supposed to hear by the end of December, and we're getting real close, if we are going to be entitled to the grant that we applied for, or Chris applied for. But I will say that Chris is working on another one. She's been doing some research, and she's found another one that she feels we would have a good chance at, so she's starting the paperwork on that. Just that you know that. And the campground update, we're still asking everyone to please write letters, don't stop. Brian Wells had sent us a copy. This letter was sent to the Honorable Basil Sagos,
Yes.
Commissioner of New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. and basically asking for all the things that we are. And at the bottom, it is signed by Jim Tedisco, Robert Smullen, and Mark Walsick.
Thank you.
So, it's a good letter, just asking for all the things that we're asking them for all the campsites in New York, in Hamilton County. So that was a real, if anybody wants to read it, it's up here. And I was hoping Casey would be able to make it tonight, but I guess he can't. But he's still working pretty hard, pushing. He's well up over 2,000, some hundred signatures on his petition. The chamber is still pushing the letters there for people to sign and mail in. It sounds like we're starting to get somewhere, but we've got to keep the pressure on and make sure we keep it on for the whole county, for all the campsites. We even have the Lower Catskills have now jumped on board and are sending letters, even though it's not affecting them. They're figuring if this comes through in Hamilton County, it's gonna gravitate. And they're concerned about the Lower Catskills, so they're starting to fight the fight as well. And that's what we need, is everybody to help us. So, does anybody have anything they wanna add to that?
I would just say that as we spoke of before, these things, when they finally get some critical mass, at the very least, we should be forcing public hearings, where they come out with their reasoning for why this would be so, and then others, either elected leaders or, chambers or concerned citizens can then pose questions to these folks as to why they would immediately go and do this so stealthily. And is it a savings at all? I contend that it wouldn't even be that. So.
No, and I have to tell you that the county is and has reached out and asked for that, but we're still waiting to hear back.
Sure.
So the reasoning is still in question.
Yeah, well, they're trying to say, of course, that it's employees and financial. Lack of
They
employees and
make money on
financial.
those two campsites. They're like the only two that make money.
Excuses.
I was, going through
That's only two things they
DEC,
can-
looking for numbers to call and stuff. So I figured they have an answer lady named Ally. So I figured I'd ask her, so I sent messages and they were first stalling, they wouldn't give her any information. And they're still stonewalling. She says, they notified me that nothing has been set in stone yet regarding early closures. It is of a discussion in order to better manage some facilities. They will contact me again with more information. And she's gonna let me know when they contact her. She's good.
But even if she actually went to someone who could impact this and got that is movement, because we had not heard that they're in discussion, only that, let's see the website, they're not taking.
Too bad.
But this not set in stone,
That's good.
those reservations open up a year in advance. So the
Right,
people
right.
who would be coming back to Louis Lake and Moffitt's
No
Beach for
question.
Labor Day are making their reservations elsewhere already.
Right, so
you
they
know?
could be mollifying her, so she would then mollify writers like Don.
I tried to book for next fall on the DEC website, and it said that you can't make reservations till after the first of the year. So after the first of the year, I'm gonna try and do it again and see what
Yeah,
happens.
job.
9 months in advance, I think the 9 months is pretty much there right now. But
Yeah.
it says right on top of the pages for the campsite that this campground will be closing on Labor Day. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, it says that.
Well,
Well, I do believe, one of the other supervisors at our meeting had said the same thing, that it's not set in stone, that this is just something that they're working on, so they're saying the same thing.
Well,
I think they're getting so much flack
a little backpedal.
from so many different, that they don't know what way to turn at this point.
The easy way to turn is to.
Leave it alone.
But at least, right, either don't change anything, or at least open up to these sort of things. I mean, everyone here has weighed in on something. Sometimes they're open sort of letter times, and there's open phone lines you can do up till a certain time. I mean, the Greenies and the Adirondack Mine Club, they know all of these avenues. And at least for them, they weigh all of that. This stuff comes out of the blue without, luckily with a couple of people, giving us some forewarning. Otherwise, it's just, like I said, bushwhacking for the area, for the economy, and for
Yep.
anybody who really, really loves the most beautiful time of year here.
Okay, so if no one has anything else to add to that, we'll move on to new business. Karen McComb,
Wow.
library president.
I'm not under public comment today.
You can circle back.
Your new business.
Okay, I'm gonna think about that between now and then. First of all, in regards to the library, Nancy Welch has decided to retire from the Board of Trustees. She has done 5 years, although not consecutively, but she feels that with the 5-year commitment that she has made, it's time that she would no longer like to continue. At our last board meeting, the board had recommended for approval from the town board the reappointment of 2 people, well, I shouldn't say reappointment of 2 people, the appointment of Barbara Tracy to complete the term that would have been the 5-year term of Nancy Welch, which would begin January 1st and go to December 31st, 2004, December. So that would.
24.
24.
Time flies.
So that would complete a 5, and we do it this way so that we have a rotating
Yeah.
schedule of people being appointed to the board. Secondly, and you might want to do it in unison or independently, it's up to you. Kathy O'Connell's term, 5-year term, is completed December 31st of this year. And the board is recommending the reappointment of Kathy for another 5-year term beginning January 1st, 2023. So I need
Can we
approval.
interrupt her to make that action happen?
So,
You can do it independently.
do you want, okay, so,
Because the way it goes is that the library board of trustees makes a recommendation. The
To us.
appointment is officially made by the town
Correct.
board. Yeah.
okay, so, let's do them together. Does anybody have an issue with doing them both together? Okay,
I move
so-
that we do.
Okay, Neil will move. A second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Good people.
Okay, all in favor, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
What do you got against Barbara?
That's why I was hoping you'd do it 2 separate.
You should have said it. I didn't think that far, I should have said that.
Still works.
Okay, okay, anything else from the library board?
Yeah, I just want to mention a couple of things that, if you haven't walked through this area here lately, the children's room,
It's nice.
we have a renovation going on in progress. Kathy, Pam Pooler, and Sherry have been working together we got rid of the couch. You'll see the 2 couches are gone. We have new tables, new chairs. There are plans for renovating this corner over here, making it more, well, I shouldn't say more children-friendly, different children-friendly than it was before. We got rid of the Lego table. Although we have a very active Lego club, the process by which the Lego club is operating is different rather than using a Lego table. They're using independent boards to do their projects out. Secondly, we're in the process of discussing with Bob Bankovich the changing of the lighting structure because the renovation will impact the children's artwork. And we have an association with the school in exhibiting children's artwork. And that would impact where it is now. So we'd like to use this hallway here, which is a continuation of the children's room, as well as this one here. But we would need more applicable lighting for artwork. So that's something that's coming down in the works that we're working on right now. But I think the children's room is going to be very nice. And they visited other libraries, saw what they did, see what we can implement there. And we're starting the chess club as well, after-school chess club. So things are moving forward in that regards. We're trying to get someone to start an adult book club, having, somebody to spearhead that effort. So moving forward, it's doing well.
The new chairs are nice, and what's nice is at that table,
Yes.
some are higher and some are lower
Yes.
for depending on size,
Right.
age of kids,
They are.
I think it's really a great idea.
They're even fairly comfortable. We
And
had
they're
a
nice.
meeting there the other day, and they're actually kind of comfortable for an adult.
And you have cushions.
Yeah. and the
Really
cushions,
nice, yeah.
right, And the bean bags and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think it's looking good.
Yeah.
And I applaud them. They're putting a lot of work into it.
Absolutely,
Yes.
good job. Good
That's
job.
it. That's what's new here.
Anything else? Okay.
That's it.
Okay, so next under new business, I had the chamber director, Caitlin Eldridge, was coming to speak. I didn't hear from her, but Rochelle said she heard that she was ill, and that they would not be coming, so I guess we'll have to table that. Next is our James Brennan contract, which we sign every year. It's due the beginning of January. The only change in the contract, and Steph went through it and I went through it, is it did go up $150, so it's $700 this year.
That covers the minimum amount of.
Three dogs, and then after that you have to pay per dog, and yeah, the same thing.
It's been a while since
So-
we've exceeded, right?
Yeah, we didn't have any this year. Yeah.
For budgeting
So-
purposes, we have to be able.
Yeah, so, I guess I'm looking for a motion to move into discussion.
I'll move.
Okay, second, Kathy? Okay, any discussion? Anybody wanna read all this? No?
I committed mostly to memory in the past.
It really hasn't. Word for word, it hasn't.
Then I have no discussion.
Okay, so,
The amount.
yeah, okay, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, any opposed? Okay. Okay. Next is the chamber contract. And I was hoping that Caitlin would be here tonight because she wanted to talk to the board and let everybody know where the chamber is going. Caitlin has announced, and I guess since she's not here, I have heard it from a few people throughout town, so I guess it's okay that I say this. Caitlin will be leaving the chamber. Her and her family are moving in the spring. She will be staying there until springtime to help try to find a replacement. Their contract actually is in effect January 1st, so tonight I was going to ask for approval to sign it and send it to them for them to review and sign. But I think at this point, we're really not sure where the chamber is going right yet. So I would like to get the board's approval to table this until possibly February, till we have a better idea if there's another employee coming in and where we stand. I will call them, of course, and let them know tomorrow. I was kind of hoping not to have to do this, but we don't have anything to go by tonight, so I just don't think it would be right for us to disagree to sign this, and we're not doing our job, I feel.
Well, I mean, I don't
agree.
think we want to send a message that we no longer want to do business with them, but I think
Correct.
postponing until a meeting or two gives them a chance to start looking in
Right.
the direction. And also, their board is in search of a new president as well.
Yeah, and they have quite a few new people on their board, which, sometimes, a fresh face is always good. So I guess
I would move that we.
Neil, you move it?
I'll second that.
table.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So
Any
table.
opposed? Okay, we'll take care of that. Next is, we have a resolution, to change our town handbook. We want to adopt the changes for new employees. So I'll just quick read it. Whereas 306, section 306, the new employee benefits medical insurance. A newly hired full-time employee will be eligible to receive medical insurance through the town after 6 continuous months of employment. It's going to be changed now to a newly hired full-time employee will be eligible to receive medical benefits through the town after 90 calendar days of employment. Whereas after 90 calendar days of employment, newly hired full-time employees will go on the town's health insurance coverage if eligible.
And it's my understanding that that's to coincide with state regulations.
Yep. So I'm looking for a motion.
I'll move.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
We just printed that. Now we got.
We've made a couple changes since we've.
I
That's
know,
what White House
I
did.
know.
It's always that way.
Well, when we have another one after this, so, okay, so no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. The next one, this is, the Town of Lake Pleasant Town Board to adopt changes to employee handbook. Section 708, medical insurance for retirees under eligibility will go from active to retiree insurance at the age of 65. Whereas once an employee retires from the town and reaches the age of 65, their health insurance will automatically go from active employee insurance plan to a retiree insurance plan. Whereas this change will include any retirees that are retired from the town but still actively employed elsewhere once they reach the age of 65. Whereas employees that have reached the age of 65 and are continuing to work for the town will stay on an active health insurance coverage or go to the retiree plan depending on current plans, policies, and employee member count. So at this time,
Discussion.
I'm looking for a motion to move into discussion.
Motion to move into discussion.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Okay, now discussion.
2 questions.
Okay,
The first, whereas, so at 65, they automatically go to the retiree insurance plan. Is there a family plan under the retiree insurance plan? There are retirees who have children who are not 26 yet.
They stay on the
they
active
stay on, right?
until they're 65.
That's the,
Until they're 65, but at the age of 65, if they still have children that are eligible for the health insurance.
They still get the health insurance.
that's the
They stay
issue.
on
So the retiree insurance plan does, yes, have a family plan,
No,
then,
they stay on the active. They'll stay on the active plan. We have right now a retired employee who is 65 and now on Humana, and they have a spouse on MVP.
okay, so it would split.
If their
Yes.
children were still being covered, which they aren't, they're age 26 and over, if they were still being covered, they would also be on the MVP.
So,
It's just a matter of semantics. There
Okay.
is no set family plan per se for over 65. But the ACA demands that those other codicils are covered.
I'm learning all the time, but you don't learn if you don't ask questions.
No,
So,
I-
the
it's a- it's a
retiree
very
would
good
go
question.
to the Humana,
Currently, it's Humana.
and the child would stay on NBP.
Right, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever regular
Our
policy
regular
we have.
coverage.
And I'm just gonna write next to that current.
Current.
Okay, third, whereas. Employees that have reached the age of 65 and are continuing to work for the town will stay on active health insurance or go to the retiree plan. Is that their choice or the town's choice?
This was recommended by the insurance agent, so
They
let Michelle.
have to go on the retirement because at age 65, they can collect the Medicaid, they're eligible for Plan A and B,
Not Medicaid.
Then,
or
then,
Medicare, I'm sorry. And so they've got, at age 65, they have to go on there, unless they are still working for the town, then they can stay on the active insurance. But if
and
they're
that,
working
so it is
elsewhere,
their, so if they continue to work for the town, they will stay on active health insurance or go to the retiree plan. I'm asking, is it their choice or the town's choice?
Yeah, this is worded clumsily here.
Yeah, because it's,
That or,
That or is throwing me off.
yes, I agree.
Wrong conjunction,
Junction function here.
yeah.
The-
Dysfunction.
That, I believe what the insurance company was trying to tell you is that,
It means if they're still working, they stay on the active,
Yeah,
if they're
well, let's
65,
try to
but
stay
then
as plain as
if
that.
they are 65 and they're totally retired from the town, then they have to go on the
But then we don't need this or go to,
right,
so
that's,
if they have 65 and they're
understand
still
that?
working for the town, they're gonna automatically go to the the retiree plan, there's no or.
No, but it says depending on current plans policy.
Right, that's
Okay.
that's why it's a
That's what
general,
we-
it's written general because any of that could change
For the insurance companies.
with the insurance at any
purposes.
given time,
Right,
right?
but Kathy's question is well posed. Since this is going in our employee handbook, the employee should be able to read this and be able to determine whether they have the choice. What you're saying, and I agree that's what they wanted you to note, is they don't have a choice. You either stay on full-time active, in which case 65 doesn't matter, or if you retire, then these guys are gonna put you in the right slot. Does that
Right,
make sense?
right, if you're working for the town, you can stay on the
You
active
stay on the
plan.
active plan,
If not,
irrespective of your
retired,
age.
You're going on the Humana.
So we need to rephrase this.
We do. Now, this is something that was asked for by Walt,
Art,
I'm sorry, Art.
Arnie, yeah, he had looked this over and said that, yeah, he said keep it simple like this because you
nothing
never know.
not
simple
the
simple.
about that
plan could
third, that
change.
third paragraph.
But it may not always work conjunctively with different health insurance plans.
That's and he's trying to stress that. It's just that's for contracts with us. This is going in our employee handbook and should be easily discerned by the employee reading it as to what that means. And I think we can either make this wait till the next time or punch up a better verbiage here.
So maybe it should be unless
Unless they retire.
yeah,
No, that or depends on the current plans policy.
It also depends on how many employees the town has at the time. That's gonna put you in different kinds of insurance brackets as well.
It can, we're nowhere near that threshold, but I see why they legal it up. We just need to make sure that the, well, newly hired, but certainly the long-term employee understands that they can work past 65 and still be on the town's active insurance.
So why don't we just put a period after active health insurance, period?
Right.
And then the next sentence, retiree plan, depending on current plan's policy and employee member count. Make that a new sentence.
yeah, but then you don't have a complete sentence, okay.
Well, the only,
Yeah.
I see what you're getting at, Betsy, but maybe, might have to add a word or two there to make that.
Okay, so the retiree plan,
Something in front of retiree.
period.
Can I throw something out? Did
Not right now, this is just the board right now, okay, Shorty, thank you.
I think you'll check with the federal
Kathy.
government.
Employees that have reached the age of 65. Employees that have reached the age of 65. Yeah. Maybe it's best to talk to him and tell him
Pushing this off.
no, because that's not him,
No.
it's us.
How about we table this?
I mean,
Let's table this and take
I
this
think-
back to the
yeah,
insurance man, because it's not,
that wording given to us for our purposes is not clear.
okay.
I understand what they're going for, but that's for their purposes.
Okay,
Yeah, we need to,
so this will be tabled until January,
Right,
sorry.
I'm just not gonna move on that one, that's all.
okay? No, that was a good catch, Kathy. So next we have the Cornell Cooperative Extension. Everybody had a chance to read it for Hamilton County and your hold harmless and indemnification agreement. Everyone read it. We just do this every year. It's the same old, so I'm looking for a motion.
I'll move.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Just, who is this affecting now? I mean, I know who it's for. It's for the,
It's us in the library
right,
from Cornell.
right. And so it's just, Cornell is counseling us with that word?
Yes. Okay, so no discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. I'll sign that up tonight and make a copy in the other room. They told me I could, and we'll take care of that. Okay, so next I'm looking for a motion. We have two abstracts together, one dated for December 12th and one dated for December 15th. And I'm gonna do them separate. I'm gonna do the first one, which was December 12th, which basically is just our insurance, our electric bills and all that. So I'm looking for a motion to move that one.
I'll move.
Okay, a second. Okay, Neil. Any discussion on that? Hearing none. All in favor?
Hi.
Any opposed? Okay. The second one is December 15th, so I'm looking for a motion to go to discussion.
So moved.
Okay. Neil second. Okay, discussion.
Two questions. Thank you. One of them was the highway department. What are spinner vanes?
You don't know that?
No, I know what they are on a barn, but I don't know what they are for a highway department.
Not the same. So the truck has sanders,
Yes,
the sand comes down a chute and hits a spinner.
yes,
Throw
It's
it
a
out.
dicky job.
yeah. Is it,
No, don't get into that.
That's-
never mind.
So that spinner is a plate with basically angle iron that's kind of bent and twisted in a certain way to throw the sand out when it needs to. So those vanes, those pieces, bolt onto a flat disc.
Okay, so you had to buy replacement,
Spinner vane.
got it. Thank you. I just, new one on me. And the second one had to do with the wreath that was purchased, had nothing to do with you. The wreath in front of the town barn, the town shed. Has anybody ever thought about purchasing a long-term one? And just storing it?
That was always town clerk, that Debbie always ordered that, I never,
Okay, cause
Was
I mean, you
involved
can
with
buy a long-term fake one that's already lighted for
Yeah,
that
it
on
has,
sale.
the answer is it has been discussed, and I think maybe the ball has been dropped. I used to pick that one up for us, the same lady that made that one would make the 3 for the inn. And I would say the same thing to Debbie, we should look after Christmas, because the fake ones, the good fake ones are really expensive. But over time, they would pay for themselves over, time over.
The library,
after the-
yeah,
after
the
the
library
season.
just purchased 2, what size?
48,
48
That's
inches.
exactly it, yeah.
So how much would one cost?
170.
Not bad.
No?
Wait till after Christmas and we should do that. I have no problem with it, as much as I like Evergreen and I like the lady who does them.
Absolutely.
If you have the storage space, that's what I do with the one on my house now.
we have it for our Christmas tree.
But we use fake trees.
Okay, so Steph, we'll just have to make a note of that.
Note of that for the,
I
And
mean,
write it on our blotter for November 23,
Right,
the
right,
beginning
we
of
get our
November, we got our new blotters today for free.
It's too dirty,
We just bought 2 of them.
we have to put it out.
Or,
Storage.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Buy it right
Day
now.
after Christmas shopping. A lot of places
yeah.
already have their Christmas stuff
Okay,
downstairs.
sorry.
okay, so
That was
did you wanna
it.
sign now? Okay.
That was it. Now I'll sign.
Okay,
would be a good investment over time.
okay, so moving right along, next we're gonna move in, huh?
Oh, and we got
For a
a,
committee.
Yes, committee reports.
but we also have to approve that one.
Oh, yeah.
that.
Don moved it. I'll second.
Okay,
No.
do you know what they're talking about?
I don't.
Oh,
We had to, we
The second
had
bill.
discussion, now we
Okay.
have
Go
to.
ahead and discuss.
okay, committee. Youth rec, Kathy and Rochelle.
So we have all the kids signed up for ski lessons. The first ski lesson of the year was unfortunately canceled because of the storm, because school was closed. So right now we have a little bit left in the ski line, from this year, and we are hoping that we can reach out to Oak and maybe get a credit for that for this ski season. I don't remember, I thought I had the list with
1,500.
me. Yeah, no, but I thought I had the list with me how many kids we had signed up, but it's a good number of kids and we'll get a good turnout this year.
Yes.
I don't know if you have anything to add.
So you're basically looking for us to, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that money is put aside for the children. If the kids, if they could not use it for what it was intended for, I certainly have no problem, and I would move that you go ahead and you know, go with your plan. I just think that that's what it's there for.
You know, we got skunked on it. I mean, it
Yeah.
was just a matter of school closing.
That stuff happens.
It
Yeah,
happens.
so we're looking for a way
So-
around that
So
and
I would move that.
Second. The committee should have discretion.
Absolutely. Okay, is there any further discussion?
Couldn't they just add that lesson onto the tail end of the lesson schedule, or?
but it'll happen after. They are, but we lose the money for this year.
Okay,
That's.
Yeah, they have makeup dates set.
They have makeup dates, that's not the issue. The issue is, then we're out then what we were counting on, we can't access as far as finances are concerned.
I mean, it's a
And it's a good move.
committee province.
Yep. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay. Neil, anything? Committee?
No, my
Don?
highway was answered and, no.
Send us a bill for
Okay.
whatever for credit.
Okay, next is public comment.
Oh, well, I hadn't planned on this, but since I was listening to this stuff, it really wasn't. But since I was listening to discussion on the insurance and, whoever deals with the insurance agent could probably ask them this question. But I'm pretty sure that if you have someone who is actively working for a municipality that offers health insurance and they turn 65 years old, they're eligible for Medicare, that Medicare does not, I don't know if it doesn't allow, but it probably does not allow Medicare to be your primary.
That's correct.
That your municipal insurance that your employer carries is your primary and Medicare is your secondary.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
60,
she-
so I mean, that's basically what you were asking, Patty.
Yeah.
So if your retirement age, you're not retired.
Right.
Your retirement age, but you're actively working because you're 65 years old, so you're eligible for retirement, you're eligible for Medicare. But Medicare is your secondary, your primary is your municipal insurance.
Maybe that's the
It's
wording
not-
we need to
I
put
don't
in there.
think the person has a choice.
No.
Because Medicare will take you as secondary, not primary.
This
Yeah,
is
the
all-
wording of this needs to,
So the way you were reading it was somewhat ambiguous, right? But
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I
basically
don't know where
what
we
it
got
is.
that verbiage, but the ACA is codified nationwide. and-
Right, I mean, that's a
and
national-
All of those answers are readily
Right.
available to anyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Retire, it flips.
Retire, it's a different. yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
Right.
right, yes.
Medicare.
Yes,
Primary
and Medicare becomes
becomes
your primary
secondary.
and your retirement plan becomes your secondary
Right.
insurance.
Correct.
okay,
So it's
Okay, but-
clear, you just have to put the verbiage in a
Yeah.
clear.
that makes it say that,
Yes.
got it.
Second public comment is to say Merry Christmas to everyone.
Aw.
You as well.
That's it,
Ho, ho,
that's it, I had to say something.
Well, thank you.
ho.
Anyone else? Have any public comment?
When I turned 65, which was only a couple of days ago, I got a letter from Uncle Sam on Medicare.
He's younger than
And
me.
they give me the option of signing up for Medicare. So if you don't sign up, then the way I understood it, if a couple of years down the road you decided you wanted to join, you can.
That's not true.
But you don't have to. They subtract out of your social security check for Medicare. If you opt out, they don't take it out of your check. If you're working for an employee and they're providing you with insurance, you stay with the insurance and you don't have to pay for Medicare. That's the understanding I got from the letter. So as far as telling somebody when they turn 65 about the Medicare Advantage plan, stuff like that, if they don't have to join the Medicare, then they can't get a Medicare Advantage plan. So
Well, I think it changed, Shorty, because I hate to admit this, but in March I turned 65. I had to sign up for Medicare, but because I'm working, my insurance my employer's insurance is my primary and Medicare had to be my secondary, but you have to sign up for it. If you don't, there's a big fine.
Like it or not, the
They
Affordable
changed
Care Act is the law of the land.
If you don't sign up for it when you're 65, and then you do go after it, yes, they fine you to get you into the system. You pay a pretty good
Yeah.
sum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll jail seniors, not muggers so much, but there'll be no bail for you.
But if you're covered by private insurance, they said they did not have to sign up for the Medicare.
Yeah.
Okay. Read the letter or check with the federal government.
Oh, got it.
That was my only thing, and as far as those Medicare Advantage plans, if your retiree doesn't sign up, the town cannot get a Medicare Advantage plan for that particular retiree, so they pay the higher amount, so to encourage them to sign up for Medicare, there ought to be some kind of reimbursement from the town on the cost of the Medicare for retirees. If the county does it and the other towns do it, the school does it, town of West Pleasant does not.
Okay. Thank you, Shorty.
They don't encourage the retirees to sign up for Medicare.
Okay, roundtable, Don.
Nothing,
Nothing.
except the campground, keep going, keep doing,
fighting.
keep calling, asking questions. Social media, keep it going.
Yes.
On that
Neil?
on that DEC thing, after the last meeting, I sent a copy of that resolution to Lou Burke, who was a Democratic chairman in Hamilton County, and he forwarded it the next day to his contact in Albany, which is supposed to be a go-between between him and Oakland's office, so.
Keep pushing it, keep pushing it.
Yep.
Good
I'm
job.
glad we got a
Good
Democrat.
job, absolutely. Neil,
Well, a couple things in response to Don's. I too wrote an email earlier today to Bob Smullen, thanking him for taking part in this joint letter. And like Don said, just keep the fire going. My feeling is, as I mentioned to you in the office earlier this week, this stuff is gonna be fixed way above our pay grades by folks from county, state, maybe even further than that, where folks really get the message. But in the meantime, we have to keep all options open. Also would like to give kudos to our councilwoman, today's efforts on the wreaths across America. That was quite a show. I couldn't stay with it too long because I had other meetings with the town. But it certainly makes it a lot more challenging for these kids and adult volunteers that were shuttling and finding the right places. And man, I'm sure it's challenging in regular days, but this was,
We thought we had it licked, but the snow beat us this year. Well, we
Good for you.
dug and we dug and we dug and
tell us
Tell you,
how
my
many, how
kids
many
were
wreaths fell,
sufficiently
how many wreaths-
exhausted.
279 wreaths were placed in 5 local cemeteries. The kids raised enough money for every veteran. Again, this is the 4th year they've raised enough for every veteran to have a wreath.
The kids and you, and just kudos to you all. I kind of made it a little fun for the kids too, probably even in the challenge. Not so much the teacher ladies, but I thought the kids were liking it. And on a very sad note, we lost an important resident of the town of Lake Pleasant this week, and I cannot go without saying. Greg Boyer was a special person in this community, helped an awful lot of people without asking much in return. Left us too young, no details yet, but clearly the community will have to help this young widowed gal. Greg was only 51, so more to follow, but he'll be missed by a lot more than me. And Merry Christmas.
Michelle,
Same.
Nothing for me tonight.
no? Kathy?
Greg, could I say something about Greg? Greg is an employee of the county, right?
Yes.
And he's covered by New York State retirement, and I believe under New York State retirement, if an employee dies while he's still employed for a community or whatever, on the retirement and there's a death benefit, and I think it's 3 times what his annual salary is right now. So as far as Becky being against the wall, if she's down as beneficiary, she might be in for,
I don't know any of those details.
No, and it doesn't matter,
We shouldn't discuss it.
But
Yeah.
suffice it to say, she's reeling right now. I'm sure that Tracy and HR up at the county will do right by her.
They'll take care of her.
there's a death benefit on it.
Yeah, I'm aware,
Yeah,
but
so
it's,
it's
yeah.
not really our place.
Okay. How about you there, Missy? Do you have anything, Steph?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Nothing. Okay.
Mine was wreaths, and, Neil, thank you very much for the kind words. But just so everybody knows, I missed the last town board meeting because I was moving our eldest, who is, part of the newest forest ranger class, to her new post in Sullivan County.
Cool.
But she made it, and she was sworn in Friday, December 2nd. So, it's cool, by Basil Sagos.
Really?
He does the signing? Really?
He swore them in
Oh.
July and presented their diplomas
Nice.
December 2nd. Wish I'd known.
Yeah.
Now that you're such good friends, maybe you can reach out.
Yeah, right?
So, just before, I have just a few FYIs. Tonight, we will be going into executive session, once we're done here. But, couple of things for roundtable. We have good news. The Speculator Ambulance will be collecting cans and bottles. They have found a company that will come up every other week. So we're back on schedule, so keep delivering your cans and bottles. It's good money for them. It's really a good thing. Yep. And I just want to quickly mention that we're looking into getting a program to convert PDFs files into Word. We don't have any computers in our offices to do that. Steve has one with a company, and it's called Protocol. It works out, I think, $45, and that's permanent. Whereas there's another one. Which other one we thought we had, but we didn't? Oh, shoot. Well, anyway,
$45 a
a
one-time fee.
one-time fee, $45.
I
Yep.
think we have to discuss this a lot.
No, yeah, I wasn't worried about discussing it.
No, I
Because,
mean, I thought it was gonna be an ongoing nightmare.
oh gosh, what's the name of it?
Adobe?
Adobe is like $100 and
We
something
had
every
one, and
year.
it was a yearly fee that I thought
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah, we never
So I
had it.
got rid of it,
We
because I didn't
never.
think I was gonna need it, and
I think that they were
Not
trying
what
to
happened.
trick you and sell you that, because we've never had it. Debbie and I always struggled with that.
Yeah.
But, what I would like to do is, for that, I would like to order it and have it put on Stephanie's computer, because I think that she would probably use it more than myself or anybody else in the office. Yes, and I think that would make more sense. So, in the future, you will be seeing a bill for that. And then,
Betsy,
yes,
you will have to buy that again.
we will.
I don't know the specific company you're talking about, but the reason Adobe charges annually is because every year when they publish a new release or they do patches or things like that, they remain compatible with Microsoft as a byproduct of that. The one usually when they're that low, I can't speak for the one you're buying, but normally when they're that low priced, yes, you're gonna get one that works on the current version, or be careful, it's not the prior version, and that's why it's marked down.
Paul, have you heard of Protocol? What-
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay, so-
I can look it up when I get one, but I just don't assume you're not gonna be paying, it doesn't say you have to pay any subscription, I'm not saying that, but next year it might not work.
Yeah, no, that's good to
It'll
know.
still run, but the PDF from Adobe will look different on the insides, and it won't know how to deal with it.
There was a yearly that was like $35 a year, so maybe we'd be better off just to go with that
Maybe, I
and
don't
renew
know the
every
company,
year.
but that implies some things that you have to see, I'm gonna
Sure.
look at it for you if you want me to.
Would you look into?
Yeah.
Would you help me?
Well, yeah, if you-
That would be great. It's very difficult, really, because some contracts are PDFs and we have to retype the whole thing over
They're
again.
all,
I haven't.
there's 2 or 3 rackets that run, if you know what I mean. Most, you get what you pay for, this is a good, software is a good example of it.
Okay,
Usually.
so I'm gonna depend
Sometimes
on
you pay a
you.
little bit more than what you get, but
Okay,
you at least get what you paid for then.
Okay, I'll wait to hear from you on that.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Okay, and then, at our January meeting, I will be bringing a resolution asking the board to support, the increase of snowmobile registrations. The county is asking all the towns to kind of follow suit as we are with the campsite issue, to do the same for the snowmobile registrations, which have not been increased. Randy, what did they say, in 12, 14 years?
14 years.
14 years. Yeah, so I will have that at the next meeting. And at this time, I guess that's it. I'm going to we're going to move into executive session.
Before you do that, Beth.
Yeah?
I don't know if you were gonna mention it in the FYI, and I didn't really think it was a public comment thing, but are you aware of the snowmobile event the village has arranged for the end of next month?
Am not. Would you like to enlighten us? We
Right.
just kind of heard a blurb tonight.
5 minutes
You were
before you,
saying that?
5 minutes before you walked in.
I only spoke to one or two of them.
Yeah, he just
So-
kind of, I was listening.
I just kinda came across this yesterday, but I guess the village is, I don't know the specifics, okay? But I did talk to Mark Donaker today after I ran into Jeanette at the store. And she asked me if I knew about this, and I was like, knew about what? Right, so there's an organization, I'll call it, right, that runs cross-country snowmobile races, and they do like 6 of them around the country, particularly in the Northeast, I guess. I won't get into all the gory details, right, but it's on the 28th of January. It's going to be basically a coned road course on the far side of the lake, down past the island, starting over by the beach towards Camp Blue Woods. And I don't know how many entrants they have, but from what I know about them, it's a relatively large organization that draws some high-end competitors, I'll call
Wow.
it. So,
Nice.
the snowmobile club wasn't aware of it. We've been scrambling the last 2 days because I'm getting hammered with texts and emails about what, I don't know.
Was this supposed to be a secret?
Yeah, we can go there later if you want, I don't know.
Well, you don't know.
They didn't
The
tell
answer
us,
is-
all I know is that.
Well, they didn't tell you, they didn't tell the town.
When we called
This
the,
lady's with the county tourism.
yeah, so when we called the,
Just saying.
we called the promoter, I guess I'll call him, right?
Right.
The fellow who owns the company who runs these. And, he'll be here on Tuesday that week, which is 27, 26, 25th, 24th, to start setting up. He said that they are going to, I'm not sure if they've leased or rented the parking lot, but they're gonna plow the ball field area, like, you know, as if you were parking, to enable more parking, like when we have the 4th of July.
When you say they, you mean the village or you mean?
I don't know who's
Oh,
doing
okay.
it. See, this is,
Yeah, it's up in
this
the
is
air for you, too.
all breaking news, okay? And when I
It's-
called Mark today, he didn't know a lot of details either, so he gave me the phone number for this guy. One of our board members called him yesterday and got the date, the nature of the event, because we were worried they thought they were running like a snow cross, like.
On a trail system.
Yeah, are they
Trail,
staying
right?
on the
We got
lake?
enough Landover problems, we haven't even opened them yet, you know
Right.
what I mean? So, that's all we need, right? But so they're gonna run this race, timed race, they're gonna plow, I think, from what I understood from Mark, also Osborne Park, they're gonna plow just enough for them to set up their timing equipment. So it'll be the parking lot, the ball field. It sounds like it's a relatively large event.
Nice.
And
Yeah, it's nice, and I just didn't know, it draws a crowd,
It'd be nice
so I
to
didn't
know.
know.
On Lake
about it.
just
Well-
on Lake Pleasant.
Yes, on the lake.
And-
Now, as we all know, there'll be plenty of snowmobilers that didn't drive here, right, for the event. They drove their snowmobile here and or after the event are staying, the good part is, I mean, they'll stay for the weekend and spend money in the restaurants, not a
That's
few
all.
hotel rooms we have and everything else, but you know, I think it's something I didn't know about, and the club I thought would have been nice to have known about, and I got the
Or in
impression-
the,
I got
in
the
the
impression
snow.
you guys have been informed, so I debated earlier.
Not a bit.
whether this is
No,
something about-
honestly.
The
Since
thing
you
that's
didn't bring it
nice
up,
for the
I should
town to
know.
know, the county to know, the ambulances to know, maybe?
Yeah,
The
Here's thing,
ambulance.
So from a drag standpoint, we were just nervous they were gonna use the trails.
Well,
And that could
but, Paul,
cause problems,
again, I'm
or
not throwing casting aspersions, but there's a very good possibility here that the reason that this can be pulled off stealthily as it's been to this point is because for anywhere else, you'd have to ask permission.
Yeah.
This, out on the lake, if they figure they can just
Well, no,
talk
no,
to
no,
Jeanette.
the village apparently has met over it and
but I'm saying, the village couldn't do anything on the
Well,
trail
they don't-
system. They couldn't do anything. This involves the state and all of the other
All right, private landowners in the
stakeholders.
state, and that was the
Yeah,
first thing you
here
said.
is it's sort of a wild, wild west sort of program, but, I
No,
can
so this
assure.
is a sanctioned
No, I get that.
body type of event, but it's
Keep
on
in
the
mind
lake,
the
so,
date.
yeah,
When-
again, I don't wanna,
This community has
City
done a
typing
lot
was
of
making me
on the
nervous.
lake.
No, I'm adjusting something else.
I don't wanna cost any
She's adjusting
dispersions, I don't wanna raise
And
any
nor do
concerns.
I,
But
but
you might, what the board might wanna reach out to the village board and ask, is there an event, do we need to know anything about it?
well, if we need to know anything about it, they should be reaching out to us, but
That's fine.
all
I'm
that
just
said,
suggesting
this is
they
the
did-
earliest date I've ever heard of for having to plow 3 or 4 feet of snow on a lake that has 2
Yeah.
inches on it.
Well,
It's,
you don't get into the technical details, it's a disaster.
I've been there, this community has done.
Yeah, we've done oval
major
races
And
events.
they've
before.
asked, and they've
Yep.
asked if they can get a truck on.
And they're in
the-
February.
All this other stuff, and.
Wait, they're gonna plow from,
You should call Jeanette, Kathy. For answers, I.
you know what, any access trail, I mean,
Kathy, so all I'm
Camp of the
suggesting
Woods.
is, this
Me-
event is
wait a minute.
happening.
okay,
And I'm just suggesting, if you weren't aware, you should probably, somebody should call Jeanette and just ask
Get the
to fill you
details.
in.
yeah,
You
get the
know,
details.
because, we got some details from the fellow who's promoting it. You know, Michelle, if you want a number.
I would love some information,
Yeah,
okay?
and then
Yeah,
you can call
tourism,
them
it's
too.
all yours.
Yeah,
You said Mark Doniger's in charge of it?
Mark is who Jeanette referred me to, and that's what I
Okay,
talked to.
okay,
You
so
have
we'll get in
Mark's
touch
number?
with Mark.
And Mark gave me, the fellow's, his name is, Justin.
So
Right.
anybody who has a private access to the lake ought to put snow fence up so that people,
Whoa.
yeah, people
Well,
aren't,
There's all kinds of good stuff like that. right?
Okay, well, thank you,
Honestly, though, I
Paul.
think it's a plus in a lot of ways, because we used
Yes.
to have these things all the time and everything.
In February.
So liability.
February,
Can I say
part of
that?
Fed
Right,
Fest.
Put some porta potties
right,
in?
so
Go ahead, say it.
Porta
January
potties.
28th, so it's almost
Yeah.
February.
Just come hold the ice, shut up.
But just so we're clear, this major event is 1 month away.
Yes.
And 1 month away, and no one knows about it, except for Paul, Mark Doniger,
There's a few
Jeanette.
others.
Yeah.
It's been spreading like a bad rumor for the
Well,
last 3 days.
you know, that's what
Are the
happens
beach
when there's,
bathrooms gonna be open?
I have no idea.
there's a whole host of things here.
I believe that, yeah, you can take a look on Facebook, there's a post with a link to the company's promo.
It's the village.
The
where,
company's problem.
who's posted this,
I
where
know
is
the
it?
name of it.
Okay,
Are
right.
they gonna
Yeah,
put
tell
up
me about
more
40
porta
seconds,
johns?
you want to close.
Who's paying for the
Because
porta
when we
john?
have an event, we're supposed to, like the parade, has to put up so many porta
I got a
johns.
feeling they're bringing all
For
that
how
stuff with
many
them.
people, that's a new.
As
long as they actually do it.
I would think the promoter.
That new
The
porta
promoter,
johns,
hopefully.
Because the parade has to pay for their own.
And do they pay, I mean, does this kind of thing pay to use the lake? I mean, or do they
Next
just
thing is,
count
I
on,
heard, can't verify it, that they're renting the parking lot. What about paying for the lake? 'Cause technically, the
State owns the lake.
so, but they're making money on the entrance fees?
I mean, everybody.
They're gonna make money
Yeah.
any way they can, that's the.
Yeah,
Everybody
okay.
makes money
They're
by-
promoting.
It's also good
Absolutely.
information to get out there to our weekend snowmobilers that are coming up here and aren't gonna be able to park their
That's where I was
snowmobiles,
gonna
their
come in. There's
trailers.
that, right, and, I mean,
Yeah.
law enforcement.
100
fire,
trucks are already there.
How many layers to this?
Yeah, NCON ought to know, state police,
How many layers to that?
forestry.
Okay, folks, so I'm gonna move this along. I'm
Sorry, I
gonna-
didn't mean to be
No,
so
that's
disruptive.
No.
okay.
They debated, hold
Nope.
off.
You did a good job, but I'm gonna move this along. I'm actually looking for a motion that we will adjourn the regular meeting, and I'm looking for a motion to go into executive session.
I move that for a personnel matter, we move into executive session. No anticipated action need be taken tonight.
I'll second the motion.
I hope it is a
Yes.
good event,
No,
but I
Second-
think
Second was Dawn, okay.
it needs to be.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and thank you for
Merry
coming.
Christmas.
And Paul, thank you.
Safe, healthy.